Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Insomnia Builders Season 3. It's been quite a long time, and in regular fashion, this video is going to be mostly a catch-up session going over some things that I have done in the recent weeks. Looking back, it's been about a month since I came out with a video. It's been due to a number of reasons, real-life things for one. Also, back during the last video, I may have mentioned, I'm not even sure, the server was going through an update at the time from 1.13 to 1.13.1, and we had a few issues with that. With that being said, I have had quite a bit of time to do stuff here on the server, and so we're going to take this time today to kind of go through some stuff that I have done. One project in particular, which you may have seen by looking, peeking out the window over there, but we're going to go over that here in just a second. Let's start off here in the base first. I don't remember quite all what was here last time and what wasn't. These are just some chests for now, storage chests to put some books in once I have them. One thing I've worked on is getting a full set of basically fully enchanted gear to, my specifications, to what I want. And that also goes for the different types of tools as well. So yeah. Basically, they're done to the way I want, and I actually end up getting a backup set of gear as well. So basically, these are going to be the same thing as the other ones. That took a lot of time using the AFK fish farm and getting mending books and whatnot as well, and also just regular enchanting to get some of those as well. And as you can see, some of my older equipment is sitting in this chest still. Haven't found any more treasure chests, but I haven't really gone searching. But that'd be something I want to do here soon as well, because that's kind of fun. Otherwise, we've got just a bunch of junk. Like, nothing is sorted in here yet. It's just kind of all willy-nilly. I guess the most sorted chest that we have is probably this one, which has a bunch of cooked food in it. But that's probably about it. And then we have a bunch of stuff for mining as well. Especially having the new gear, mining has been a lot better. Having the Fortune 3 picks and whatnot as well. So, plenty of books, plenty of whatever. Up top, this should all look the same. Basically, same fish farm, same whatever. My fishing rod's downstairs at the moment. This cow farm over here, I've used it a few times to get a little bit of leather, but otherwise they just kind of sit here. There's some baby cows in here, I guess last time I was here, so I blocked that off until they grow up. But yeah, that's pretty much it up top. Out back here, we actually had lost a little bit of progress on the server. There was some stuff that I had done, but because when we switched to 1.13.1, we lost a little bit of progress. One of the things that I lost was I had actually set up a pumpkin farm, and with the pumpkin farm, it was fully automatic, so it was using like observers to see when a pumpkin would grow, and then it would basically push it off into a water stream. I will have to recreate that, and that's one of the things I haven't gotten around to recreating yet. But you'll see why here in a moment. I'm kind of saving the biggest project for last. Down underground here, one thing I did do was we had this, I guess. I'll start here. This is just kind of where you pour fuel into one side, you pour your items into the top, that's also above. And then we have this furnace output down below. So there's quite a few just random bits in there right now. But one thing I did do from the fish farm is I set up a sorting system. And so this is just a standard, I guess, at this point, standard sorting system. Basically, it'll sort the items. It helps with overflow protection as well. But I've actually taken everything out here. But right now, the raw cod goes in here. The raw salmon goes in here. Pufferfish, I'm sorting out. Lily pads, the tropical fish, the nautilus shells, name tags, bowls, tripwire hooks, and then all the miscellaneous. Anything that isn't sorted goes here to the end and goes into this big, basically giant chest chain, which basically this is going to be your enchanted books, this is going to be your rods, that kind of thing. I don't know how to filter these out, and I think I accidentally threw some other random stuff in here. So that's probably not typical. But it's like, I don't know how to sort some of these things out effectively. Like, it'd be nice if I could somehow, like, sort books and then, like, destroy rods and bows, but I can't think of a way to do that, and maybe there is, and I just haven't looked very hard. But, yeah, a few more things down here, a few more decently enchanted tools down here. So I've had some good luck with doing AFK fishing. But I guess the big thing is going to be outside. And let's go take a look at that. And it'll probably take a while to explain this. So just make sure I'm not going to get blown up. Horse is still here. This right here is a kelp farm. Well, it started off as one segment, basically, just like one structure, like this. If we can get up here, we can get a little bit better view. So there's 2 rows of kelp inside. They are essentially 29 blocks long. And the reason why 29 blocks long is because that's how far a redstone signal can carry. And so that was about as wide as you can do it without having to worry about using repeaters and everything else. Not to mention that when this thing goes off, it's already pretty laggy as is. So I wouldn't advise making this too much bigger, like too much longer, even if you could. But this kelp farm design is one of my own. It's the only farm I can think of that I've ever actually designed on my own. It uses some principles from other farms, especially ones I've used in the past that were more closely related to sugarcane farming, which basically means that, you know, kelp can grow, it's kind of a random number, but it can grow anywhere from like 1 or 2 blocks high to up to like 20. I've heard 20 blocks and I've heard 25 blocks as the maximum. I'm not entirely sure, but I made mine like 8 blocks tall. So I felt like that was kind of a happy medium. But basically what ends up oh, Jesus, that's louder than I thought. I've always played with that on mute. But you got to see that go off, so that's pretty cool. So one of them grows up to 8 blocks tall, and that's basically going to trigger, there's another redstone line up there that powers this piston. This piston's going to push this down one, and then this redstone block is going to basically push all the pistons along this line. There's 2 rows inside the farm, so this is copied on the other side. As you can see kind of through the glass, there's another like piston thing over there. So these fire independently, like the rows fire independently, and there's 2 rows of the observers on either side. So any piece that goes up to the observer on one side will activate the entire row on its respective side. And so basically I like the idea and design of this farm so much, and I was proud of making it myself, that I ended up duplicating it 3 times, and I just kind of circled it around. And so the output of this is halfway decent, in my opinion. And the nice thing about doing it, like and since then I've seen people that use very similar type of design, so I'm not saying I made anything revolutionary, because it's certainly not. But other ones I've seen recently will break the blocks when they're like 3 blocks high. And that's fine. But the problem that I see there is that then your farm is firing way too often. And really, it doesn't really matter. I mean, for lag purposes, I'd rather it spike or fire like once every few minutes as opposed to like every, 2 or 3 minutes. Like, I'd rather it be every 10 minutes, just to save on lag and everything else. So yeah, that's kind of how these farms work, and these are all identical. You can kind of see this a little bit better from here, but that's the back of the observers. There's a line of redstone dust, and they feed into that repeater that fires that down, and then fires these pistons down at the bottom. So that's kind of how that works, and we can get even a little bit better of a view if we go up top, and I've kind of made a makeshift way of getting up here. Let's check this out. We're going to go over this here in a second as well, because this is a pretty cool design. I did not come up with this furnace design, but so if we go up here, yeah, so basically once they're broken, they float up to the top. There's a flow of water stream that goes directly into these, right, you're going to see right here. So it goes right into these hoppers. These hoppers are all connected, so basically starting over there, they're chained to come around. They actually connect into this line and meet up here in the middle, and same thing with this side. They start over there, come and meet up in the middle, and they come down this middle line right here, and they're feeding into this directly. And so we're going to go into that here in just a second. Maybe we can force it, because up here I have some levers, and so using these levers, you can actually manually force the farms to mine, or to harvest. And the other reason, too, is that I figured that if this furnace, because this is a furnace, if this furnace ever gets turned off and doesn't keep up, and the kelp is able to back up to here, basically this is set to turn the farms off automatically. So the way I have it set up, you can see these sides are slightly different. This side will actually turn off first based on how full this hopper is. And so that'll turn off that whole side first. And then once it fills up a bit more, then that whole side will turn off. And then as it backs up even more, if it gets backed up to here, then this back one will turn off as well. So it'll save on lag. Basically, it'll shut itself off the more full that it gets. But using the levers that I attached to these, we can actually fire it automatically. So we could do this. And so that's going to fire that one way over there. And then we can undo it. We could do this back one. And I want to do this manually because I want to show you this furnace if possible. And then we'll do the last one over here real quick. And so it'll take a little while for it to get over here, but we'll see how that goes. But basically, and to simulate how this goes, like if this was all the way full, this line would stay lit and basically keeps those pistons closed or extended. And that way the kelp actually can't physically grow any further. And you can see here the furnace just turned on. So the way that this is designed is that the hopper minecart fills up with 5 stacks of items. 5 stacks of items are divided evenly among 16 furnaces. Basically doing some math, that basically means that it'll drop 20 items into each of these exactly. The thing about that, and the key about that, the reason why, is that when it comes to burning kelp blocks as fuel, which is the whole purpose of this farm, you can burn 20, or you can basically smelt 20 items with 1 block. And so by doing it this way, you're ensuring that you're not losing any efficiency. You're not going to waste any of these dried kelp blocks just sitting here burning nothing. And so basically this minecart will just stay docked here until it's absolutely full with 5 stacks before it takes off and goes around. And using some of this like comparator logic, it's going to sense how many items are still left in the hopper minecart. If it still has items in it, it's going to keep going around and around. Once it's empty, it'll go and park itself back there. So if we go look in here, there's still a stack and 16 left, and so it's just going to keep going around until it finally empties out. It'll go dock back in here, and as you can see, there's more items already lining up to go into it. I don't know if we'll fill this up quite or not, but we're pretty close. It actually should fill up here pretty quick and begin again. And the nice thing is that if you have like a queue of stuff in here, it yeah, I mean it actually refills really quickly. As you can see, it actually fills up really fast. I don't know if we'll have quite enough to show another round, but well, maybe. Actually, it's still going, so maybe we'll hang out here for just a second. We can watch it deploy. We just have to get, what, 10 more items? Watch it stop like 1 short, knowing my luck. Here we go. So, 1 short! I wasn't even lying, Jesus. Do I have just like 1 kelp on me? I don't think I do. Here. We can go manually fire a farm again. I'm sure one of them has some kelp that's grown to 1 block high. Yeah, right here. Or over... Can I do this one? So we'll just watch from here. So there should have been 1 over there, probably. Maybe. It'll take it a while to get over here. Maybe not. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, there was 1. So yeah, basically, once it fills up, it just goes around and it'll do the whole thing again. So it's full of 5 stacks of items. Those 5 stacks can be anything. So there have been times where I come over here with 5 stacks of sand and I'll just manually put it in here. Or it could be 5 stacks of fish or 5 stacks or whatever. Or you can mix and match. You know, you could put 3 stacks of kelp and 2 stacks of fish, and you know, it's fine. It doesn't matter as long as it's 5 stacks of something in that hopper minecart. And then you're not wasting any fuel. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. And then basically right now it's all kind of funneling down into this kind of monstrosity. I know it doesn't look good, but basically, yeah, it's all feeding into here. As you can see, the dried kelp is coming in rather fast. So that's good. You could take all of this, or take as much as we can anyway, and basically you can sit here and craft up the dried kelp blocks. And so we have quite a bit of that. Let's grab a little bit more and try to make as much as we can. So we'll throw that back. That's fine. But yeah, we have over a stack. So then, when you want to put fuel into it, I just come over here to this minecart chest here. You put in whatever you have, and you launch it off. And basically, it's going to go back and forth and distribute the fuel evenly. It'll probably take a few passes before we can turn it off, but yeah, it's still got a little bit left. So we'll let it go like 1 more time, and then I'll shut it off. Yep, that should be good. but that'll park itself back and be finished. So that's kind of how this works. So it has kind of an overflow, or kind of an overflow protection where it'll shut the farm off if there's enough stuff just queued up there in the chest and in the hopper lines. You can manually fire it off if you want. But yeah, it's kind of a cool design. I kind of like it. Like I said, I did not come up with the furnace design. That was done by other people on the internet. And like I said, you're going to find farms very similar to what I made here, but like I said, this was made by me. So yeah, I was really happy with that. And the goal here is to basically produce enough kelp blocks that eventually we can be at a point where that could be our sole fuel source. And the thing is, you're going to make more fuel, you're going to make more of these kelp blocks than you're consuming. So it's a renewable, regrowable fuel source in the game that's actually pretty good. I believe its efficiency is only third on the list overall, and that's behind coal blocks and lava. And so it's like the third most efficient fuel in the game, and it's in reality the most fuel efficient renewable fuel source in the game. So it's better than blaze rods, it's better than whatever, you know. You don't have to set up a blaze rod farm in order to get this thing up and running. So my goal right now is I've just been pumping all the blocks I can back into the system, and once that gets full, then in my mind I can basically use those blocks elsewhere. So that's kind of what I've been working on. It's been taking me quite a while. This alone took me like over a week total. Like, it doesn't take you that long to actually build these, but it's like to get everything kind of the way that you want, to put in kind of the different pistons and machines there to keep things under control. Just takes a little bit, takes a little while. But yeah, I mean, otherwise the server's been a little bit on the quiet side recently. So I don't know if there's really much to show here at the moment, but oh geez, there's like giant gaping holes in the ground. But I know that like one of the objectives, I can't even talk. One of the objectives that I had was to build a path to spawn. Hanzo came along and built this bridge, and was very nice and did that for us. So one of our plans going forward will just be to continue the path, probably just from here, and head back towards spawn. And actually his base is like off in that direction, spawn, like world spawns over that way. But the thing is, I come down this path quite often because, you know, I like to go, there's like a desert out there that I've been mining. And then also just visiting Hanzo is sometimes easier just to go there than it is to go through the Nether. The Nether has not been secured quite the way that I would like yet. In fact, we can go take a look right now, but yeah, it's not the most secure place at the moment. I think the last time I was there was like creepers and multiple creepers in the area, so I'm gonna get my sword ready because there might actually just be one sitting on the other side. But yeah, multiple creepers. What the Jesus? There's like 3 of them. And witches, and how did all these mobs get here? Jesus! I don't want to die. Oh geez, I got a little bit of slowness. I wish I had a bow now. Oh, she hit the creepers with the slowness potion. Zombies and creepers. That's no good. Come on, people. Come on. Gotta secure our nether a little bit better. But yeah, that's one of my goals. One of my goals long term is to get that to be a little more secure. There's too many creatures here. But yeah, I don't know if there's really too much to show other than that. I honestly don't know what the other players have been up to. And in reality, they haven't really reached out recently, so I don't know what they're working on. I know that, I guess one thing I do know is that Chin, I think, was working on a witch farm at one point. I don't know where he's at on that, but or if that was affected by kind of some of the problems that we had with the server being upgraded, but I don't know. I'll have to ask him. God damn it. Get away from me, witch. God damn it. She's gonna kill me. Alright. I did the responsible thing. I got rid of the creatures. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hear him. I don't know where he's at. Alright, I better eat. How much more poison do I have? 9 seconds of poison. Okay, I can deal with that. But yeah, this is not such a kind place to be at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what the status of the of those farms are that Shin's been working on. Because I know he's working on a witch farm. I know he was working on like digging out certain areas of World Spawn. I think World Spawn's actually been technically changed to somewhere else now, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not really in the loop at the moment. I just kind of come on here and I play. Honestly, I haven't seen anybody on here in a little while, but I think some people are just kind of recovering from the mishap that we had with the server, and I think other people just have some other stuff going on at the moment, but otherwise, people do have big plans as well, from what I've heard. So we haven't really done anything from up here yet, but as you kind of look down on the base area, it looks like, you know, we're finally starting to get somewhere. I mean, the most massive thing I have right now is a kelp farm and a giant smeltery, essentially. But yeah, I mean, the other plans that I had are still on the table, so eventually I want to build an area that maybe has some like stuff people can buy. I mean, having a shop isn't like the #1 priority of this season, but I definitely wouldn't mind having one because I've already had people that have talked to me about wanting to buy books and wanting to buy other things. And maybe, you know, and I might either, depends on how this outputs. Like, if this has such a heavy output eventually that I can't really find places to put it, then I'll just freely give away kelp blocks. If it's something that I feel like people would be willing to pay for, I might sell them. It just kind of depends. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I've been up to. I know it's been a long time. I apologize for that. Just like I said, a lot of stuff kind of coming up. Some of them in my control, a lot of it outside of my control. But our goal going forward is still to do some of these things. So, you know, building a shop, doing a sugarcane farm, which after doing this, I think building a sugarcane farm would be easy as pie, especially since I wouldn't make a very big one. I'd probably make one that just has like a single row. Probably has about as many plants as you see here, and I think that would keep up just fine. One thing that's not on here is I do want to rebuild my pumpkin farm, the automatic pumpkin farm. It just kind of fit over there. It wasn't that much bigger. And then, you know, I could build multiple levels, maybe 2 levels of pumpkins, and then maybe build 2 levels that I can eventually put melons on. I don't have melons yet, but I could probably easily go find some. And I think Chin has some, so I could get some somehow. But yeah, just some things coming up here in the future. Definitely have some more farms and more ideas in mind. One of the things I want to do as well, which I'm actually going to put this one up on the board because I really want it to happen, is I want to eventually make a gold farm. And so gold farm, well, it's like gold / XP farm. Because some of the designs that are out there now give you about more XP than you know what to do with, and are some of the best XP farms in the game at the moment. But all right, I've been rambling for long enough. You've kind of seen what this stuff all looks like. I haven't decided if I want to do like an actual tutorial video of either the farm or the smelter. Like I said, the smelter isn't my design, but I'd be, if I did a tutorial on one, I'd probably do it for both just in the same episode. But let me know what you guys think if you do want to see that. Otherwise, I'll probably just let it go. Like I said, you can kind of see how it was made anyway, but if you want to see it a little bit more detailed, just let me know. But I'll let you guys go here, and hopefully it won't be so long before the next video. I mean, I don't know if they're going to come out quite as often as they were at the beginning of the season where I was doing 2 or 3 a week. I think at this point, as we kind of ramp back up, it might be about 1 a week. But once we get back into the flow of things, hopefully the frequency comes back to where it once was. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.